Some breaking news overnight. Israel striking Hezbollah's training and weapons storage facilities in southern Lebanon, targets that were used to advance terror attacks on Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is reportedly expected to meet with President Trump on Monday. I want to bring in rocket scientist and U.S.-Israel Education Association Senior Policy Advisor Ari Sacher. And Ari, good morning. Your reaction to what we've seen play out overnight in Israel?
Well, good morning, Cheryl. I'm glad to be back. What we've seen play out overnight is more of the same. Israel has a ceasefire in effect with Hezbollah since it's almost more than a year. And it's nice not to have them firing at us, but it would be even nicer if they didn't rearm so they can fire at us again. And part of the ceasefire is ensuring that Hezbollah disarms and certainly doesn't rearm. And so what Israel is doing is what the Lebanese army is not doing. So it's preventing it. And we've been doing this, targeted assassinations, taking out factories, taking out the beginnings of factories, routes that are supplying Hezbollah. We will not allow Hezbollah to be as strong as they were last time. We paid for it in spades. We're not going to do that twice.
All right. Well, obviously, another potential change could be coming when it comes to Gaza with regards to where we're at with negotiations, because preparations to begin implementing phase 2 of the Gaza peace plan are now underway. There were successful meetings in Miami between the U.S., Turkey, Egypt, and Qatar. The second phase of this deal includes Hamas surrendering all weapons, handing over Gaza to an independent body, and establishing a board of peace to oversee reconstruction. Now, Israel is vowing retaliation against Hamas for allegedly violating the ceasefire agreement after an IDF military officer was injured from a suspected bomb. Ari, where are we? Because at this point, Hamas has not disarmed. And that was part of the initial reason that the peace deal was signed in the first place. If you don't have a disarmed Hamas, do you have peace?
Cheryl, if you don't have a disarmed Hamas, you don't have peace. The same way if you don't have a disarmed Hezbollah, you don't have peace. What's going on in the north is very similar to what's going on in the south. It precedes it by about a year. Hamas has stated as recently as yesterday that they have no plans to give their weapons to anyone other than a Palestinian ruling authority, of which they will be a part. And that is clearly a non-starter. So how do you move to the second phase when the other side states that it's unwilling to move to a second phase? How do you send a stabilization force when they will be met by a heavily armed Hamas? Do you know any country out there that's willing to sacrifice their soldiers to defang Hamas? I know of none. Just yesterday, Germany came out and said, we're not going to be part of it. I don't see any meaningful army, and I mean meaningful, I mean an army that is well-armed, well-trained, and that has the power and the gumption to assert their power, that's willing to do that. So I see the second phase right now as a non-starter.
What does it mean for Israel, who is looking for and looking to build new settlements in Palestinian territory? Does that change the strategy coming from Israel with regards to new settlements? I mean, you want to make sure that you can guarantee the safety of the Jewish people if these new settlements are built. Are we ready for that, Ari?
I don't think, Cheryl, that we're going to be building any settlements there in the near future. I don't think that's in anybody's interest. What I'm concerned about, what our government is concerned about, is protecting the safety of Israelis that are in Israel today. The ones that live in the Gazan envelope who were attacked and killed on the 7th of October. The ones that live in Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Haifa, who were fired on by Hamas. The ones that live in Ashkelon and Ashdod, which are 10, 15 miles from Gaza, who on the October the 7th, the plans were to enter those cities and rape, pillage, and destroy. So we have enough on our plate right now. I'm not worried and concerned about Israelis moving into Gaza. That's another topic for the distant future.
Right. Well, let me get your take, and I want to bring in Jonathan Fahey into the conversation from Washington. But I did want to get your take on this reported meeting between Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump. I mean, this is a very fragile peace deal right now. Jonathan Fahey, jump into this, sir.
Yeah. What are the major impediments to sort of this peace deal going through and also holding after it goes through, meaning 5 years, 10 years down the road?
Well, The impediment is Israel's goal of the war from day one, and that is disarming Hamas and preventing Hamas from controlling Gaza, from administrating in Gaza. The major impediment is Hamas's unwillingness to be disarmed and to relinquish their control over Gaza. That has been, is, and will remain the greatest impediment. And if that cannot be countered, then we will find ourselves in the same position that we were today, tomorrow, and the day after, which is why you see Israel fortifying their positions on this new yellow line between Gaza and Israel, which may very well become the de facto border between Israel and Gaza.
Well,
and there will be a second round if that happens.
And that is my question here about this discussion of rebuilding in Gaza. It seems to me premature.
I think you are 100% correct. You cannot rebuild when the buildings themselves are sitting on a Swiss cheese of a tunnel network, which has only been partially discovered. And when I don't see anyone who would find it economically beneficial or prudent to invest money into a Hamas-run Gaza. It's not going to happen. In the areas that are now run by the IDF, yes, there's definitely a case to be made for investment there. But in areas that are run by Hamas, no way, no how.
Well, if there is this meeting between Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump on Monday, there is a lot to discuss on the table. Things are very fragile in that region right now. There's new reports of another terror attack within Israel that our foreign desk is looking to confirm. Ari Sacher, it's always great to speak with you on this issue. It's so important. Thank you for being here, sir. We'll be right back, everybody.